Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Today on The Young and the Restless Faith lets Lucy down easy. Sharon argues with Cameron and Chelsea confesses. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At the park in the dark, Lucy thanks Faith for meeting her. Faith asks, "Aren't you supposed to be grounded?" Lucy was going crazy on lockdown, so she snuck out. Faith warns she needs to go home right now. Lucy will. She was just feeling bad about putting Faith in such a messed up situation. She wanted to apologize. Faith isn't mad, just disappointed. Lucy's disappointed in herself too. Faith's relieved to hear she hasn't drank since. Lucy tells Faith she really likes her. "I was really hoping we could be friends." In Sharon's house, Cameron says, "Let me guess, having trouble sleeping." He notices she's not at all surprised to see him. He complains about being a bloody mess and notes the bloodstains of guilt never wash away. Sharon tells him she could sleep a lot better if she could wash him away. She's trying to ignore him, so he'll take the hint and go away. In the meantime, she won't let him get to her. He chuckles. Easier said than done, babe. Cameron thinks Sharon can't sleep because her mind is going a mile a minute. Sharon snaps at him to get out of her head. He can't. It's where he lives. He guesses she's thinking about Cassie, Nick, or both of them. She shouts, "Shut up." Cameron knows what she's going through. When he was alive, he spent many sleepless nights thinking about her. She walks away from him, but he warns she can't get away from him. They're on a mission together. You're very close to figuring it out. You know what it is. It's on the tip of your tongue. He questions why he's there. Why she's constantly thinking about Cassie and Nick. Maybe it's because when Cassie died, you lost Nick too when he turned to Phyllis. Cassie's death changed everything for you. Sharon snaps that he doesn't know anything about her. Cameron knows that the last time she was truly happy was before Cassie died. That was a long, long time ago. At Adam's place, Sally asks him if he slept with Chelsea. He exclaims, "Why would you ask me something like that?" He wonders if she's been talking to Billy again. And that's where this sick idea came from. Sally rails that this has nothing to do with Billy. He's been distant. Even Chelsea said she's keeping something to herself that's eating her up. Is it eating away at you too? Adam is sorry that he's been closed off lately. He wants to make it up to her. Sally tells him there's one way to fix it. "Look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Right here, right now. Just straight up tell me if you slept with Chelsea." On Crimson Light's patio, Billy tells Chelsea she doesn't have to be ashamed. She can tell him what the horrible thing is. She's scared he'll hate her and they'll be over. Billy couldn't hate her. He asked her to tell him so she doesn't have to carry the burden anymore. Chelsea says he already figured it out. "Please don't make me say it." Billy needs to hear her say it. They sit, and Chelsea goes on about Billy being her rock. He saved her life, but he's also supported her and helped her get her feet back on the ground. "You're right. I have to get this out. I can't live with this secret inside any longer, and you deserve the truth." She asks him to promise he'll listen before judging her too harshly. Billy tears up. "Just say it." Chelsea tells him that on that night, she and Adam were so raw and angry that their son had to suffer through this disorder. They had a great day and then Connor regressed. It was all just too much. Too many emotions and so much guilt. They feared their son was suffering because of them. It was too overwhelming and utterly devastating. There was a bottle of booze and a terrible sense of desperation. They just wanted to stop the pain and heartache somehow. The alcohol, the helplessness, it's really all such a blur. Things got out of control, and before we knew what was happening, we slept together. At Adam's place, he declares, "This is all coming from Billy. This is not coming from you." Sally protests, "Adam, leave Billy out of this." Why does he keep bringing him up instead of answering the question? Adam complains that Billy's been in her ear with all of his suspicions and hammering Chelsea too, looking for an answer that does not exist. Sally knows there's a secret that Chelsea is keeping about that night. "Did you tell me everything, Adam?" After everything they've been through, even after losing Ava, they somehow found their way back together. They're strong when they're honest. For the last time, "Did you sleep with Chelsea?" Adam replies, "I'm sorry, Sally. I never expected it to come to this." On Crimson Light's patio, Chelsea thinks Bill must hate her. He told her he couldn't hate her, and he meant it. Chelsea is so sorry and asks if he could ever forgive her. Billy's glad she told him the truth. He'd had started to put it together, but didn't want to believe it. Chelsea knows he must be hurt, angry, and furious. Give it to me, I can take it. Billy shrugs. I don't know what I feel right now. I don't really feel anything but numbness, and I'm not sure what I'm going to feel when this goes away. In the park, Faith is honored that Lucy wants to be her friend, but being honest, she doesn't see it happening right now. They're different ages and at different stages in their life right now. She's going back to college and Lucy needs friends here. Lucy totally gets it, and she's sorry for making her feel uncomfortable. Faith says the drinking was uncomfortable for her. Lucy asks if she feels that way because of what happened to her sister Cassie. In Sharon's living room, she tells Cameron he's a big liar and has no idea how she feels. She's been happy and has an inspiring career. They bicker about him leaving her the company. She said she was repulsed and sickened, but then she realized she could turn it into something that could do good for people. Cameron thought she'd sell it and stop slinging coffee and dispensing free advice. Sharon tells him Cassie First helps victims of sick, twisted abusers like him. Cameron smirks that she should be canonized. He thinks Cassie First is her way of easing the guilt she feels for brutally ending his life. Sharon won't have a psychotic criminal analyzing her. Cameron says he's not analyzing anything. This is all you. In the park, Lucy tells Faith she knows about what happened to Cassie. Her dad told her, including his role in the accident. Faith says it was awful. Lucy says her father still feels guilty. Does Faith still resent him for it? Did she put that on her? Faith would never blame her for something her father did. That's not what this is about. Faith gets a text from her friend and Lucy tells her, go. Faith asks if she's sure she's okay. Lucy insists she's fine. At Sharon's place, she thinks Cameron is there because of the wrong combination of meds. Cameron scoffs that they both know she hasn't made any effort to sort out her meds. He suggests they play a little game together. He wants to spitball about where all of this is going, and maybe they'll stumble on something juicy. On Crimson Light's patio, Chelsea tells Billy, you have to believe me. What happened with Adam? It truly meant nothing. They were so desperate and broken and drunk. It was a moment of weakness that came out of fear. Billy knows what it's like to want the pain to go away. After it's over, the regret sets in. Chelsea says that's exactly how it happened. She's so sorry. It's been tearing her apart ever since. At Adam's place, he tells Sally that this whole thing with Connor has torn him up inside. He's had to rein in his feelings for Connor's sake and Chelsea's. He's been distracted because the stress was killing him. Sally gets all that, but Adam continues to say that he's been feeling like a failure, like he's let everyone down. He failed as Connor's father. He failed as an ex, and worst of all, I failed you as a partner. Sally asks, failed me how? Adam hates that she thinks he would betray her. I need you. He'll never do anything to risk losing her again. Sally intones, yes or no, Adam. Adam lies, no, Chelsea and I didn't sleep together. He repeats, nothing happened. I swear. He's not an idiot. After everything they have been through, and everything it took for them to get back together, he doesn't want to lose her. Do you believe me? Sally sighs, I do. On Crimson Light's patio, Billy thinks maybe he should have seen this coming. Chelsea and Adam were traveling, fighting together to save their son. Chelsea argues there was no connecting. It was an alcohol-induced mistake she wishes she could undo. I will do anything to regain your trust. I just want us to be able to get past this. I want it more than you know. Billy replies, so do I. In the park, Faith suggests Lucy go home and beg her parents to forgive her for sneaking out. Lucy hopes they'll still be out when she gets there. She asks if Faith will see her before she goes back to college. Faith tells her she's a cool kid. If they were the same age, she's sure they would have hung out. In Sharon's living room, she tells Cameron she's not playing his games. Cameron tells her she can't fix herself without first facing whatever put her in this state to begin with. She's dealing with seeing Cassie's ghost and fantasizing about getting back with Nick. Sharon asks if he's saying getting back together with Nick will help her get closure about Cassie. Cameron thinks it's the other way around. Getting closure on Cassie by any means necessary will open the door to a future with Nick. Sharon tells Cameron he's way off base. She's not fixated on getting back together with Nick. Cameron's not buying it and reminds her of the steamy dream kiss. She insists she had no control over it. He suggests she take it further next time. Sharon calls him a pervert. She says she and Nick got back together once, but it never works. Cameron thinks that's because the fundamental reason for their split was what happened to Cassie. Sharon hollers at him that Cassie was not to blame. "Don't you dare blame her." Cameron says, "Oh, I'm not. We both know who was to blame for that." Sharon hollers, "Shut up." "Okay, shut it. I am ending this discussion with you." Cameron asks, "Don't you mean with yourself?" She's struggling with this issue and has to admit it. Then she can deal with what she knows deep down has to be done. She yells at him to go away. On Crimson Light's patio, Chelsea doesn't know what she would have done if Billy hadn't forced this issue. She's grateful. He knows her well enough to know when she's in turmoil. Billy says she should go check on Connor. Chelsea asks when she'll see him again. He shakes his head. "I'll call you." She tells him she loves him. "You do know that, don't you?" He walks out. Chelsea cries. At Adam's place, he kisses Sally's hand. He can't tell her how much it means to him to have her by his side again. He's sorry for being distant and preoccupied and promises to do better. "You're everything to me." When he thought he'd lost her, his whole world collapsed. Adam feels so lucky to have her share his home and wants her to know he'd never do anything purposely to hurt her. Sally hopes they can all move past this. She wants the four of them to be free of questions so they can focus on Connor and his well-being. Adam wants to focus on Sally too. He can't even imagine a world without them together. Faith arrives at Sharon's and her mother stammers. "Faith, I didn't expect to see you back this soon." Faith thought she heard her talking to someone. "I swore. I heard you say, 'Won't you please go away?' What did you mean by that? Who were you talking to?" On Crimson Light's patio, Chelsea pulls out her phone and sends a text. In the park, Billy roars out his anguish into the night air. At Adam's place, Sally tells him she's so glad they talked. She feels a huge weight has been lifted. Adam nods. His phone dings and he pulls it out and reads a text from Chelsea. "I told Billy the truth. I had to. I'm sorry." Sally asks, "Adam, is something wrong?" Adam answers, It's just work."